Hey there, friends and collectors. This is Mike with Binary Sunset Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newest wave of vintage collection figures, which are just hitting stores now.
Commence primary ignition.
So, this newest wave was announced last year, actually at a Fan First Friday towards the end of the year. So, we've been waiting quite a long time to see these new figures, and there have been some difficulty in finding any kind of figures on shelves, especially at certain stores. So I'm here to offer some tips and tricks on how I was able to get these and hopefully how you're able to get yours in the future. So I have had hit or miss luck with different stores out there. There's a definitely an economy that you can track to try and find where these figures are going to be. We have been flooded with pictures recently on social media about how Target only has empty pegs or old Black Series figures from previous years. And I did a little digging, I did a little research. I talked to my local Target toy rep and I figured out why this is. So, not only does the Target stores get very limited shipments of these figures when they get released, but they also have a certain scheduling and timing as to when they go on the shelves and if they go on the shelves. So there have been huge back orders in a lot of the Targets on the East Coast, a lot of the ones that I've been talking to, on clearance items that need to get moved. And the specific toy rep I talked to not only expressed how they are been waiting for certain weeks and months to redesign certain end shelves for Transformers promotions that are exclusive to Target, but also in preparation for the new list of Star Wars exclusives that are coming to Target stores. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I'll leave links below if you haven't seen it, but the last reveals of Star Wars, the summer launches, they're offering a lot of items from the trading depot at Galaxy's Edge at Target stores and online. The biggest reveal and the hardest thing for everyone to get in the last couple days has been the Vintage Collection Millennium Falcon. This is the Smuggler's Run exclusive and a Target exclusive. They sold out within 15-20 minutes online, and so far the line's been dead since then. But moving on, we're going to talk about these figures. So these figures are brand new to shelves. If you pre-ordered them, they're not going to start shipping until August 1st, but this is July 22nd, and if you know where to find them and know who to talk to, these figures are able to be found on shelf, which honestly is my preference for finding figures in the first place. So, as I mentioned, each store has a toy rep, each Target store. So I don't know about Walmart specifically. I'm going to try and start talking to people there, but from my experience, I've had better interactions at the Target stores. Now, obviously, if you're going to talk to anyone who is at work, if you're going to talk to anyone in general, respect comes first. So even though we have had difficulty finding these, even though these are few and far between, that first and foremost is not the toy representative's fault. It's not the person working at Target's fault. It's not the person working at Walmart's fault. So approach these people with respect, with honesty, and with truth. And more times than not, you'll get results, and results that will walk away having every party smile. Target actually, and a lot of these different stores, has very specific numbers for each figure that hits the shelf. So knowing those numbers ahead of time can really help. There's a lot of collectors online that actually do a great job on social media sharing those numbers. I repost them on my Instagram, but I'll leave links to those below also. But arming yourself with the right information as you go in on these specific toy hunts really can help you come away with some treasures that you didn't think you were going to be able to get. So knowing these numbers is a big trick. Knowing exactly which wave and exactly which figures you're looking for is also a really big difference. So this wave has 4 figures. I gotta say that last waves there wasn't a single figure I wouldn't be happy getting my hands on in double. This can be said double if not triple for this line. Every single one of these figures is absolutely amazing. So here we got a close-up of the card backs. We have a really nice card back version of Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper armor. happily, unlike the Han Solo Stormtrooper, which was a Target exclusive, this image in the back is beautifully rendered. It's very nice, HD, it's clear, it is very, hats off, very well done. So on top of the photo real face, we also have the definitive Stormtrooper that we've come to know and love from the Rogue One model. And just absolutely amazing to get a fan favorite character in an amazing Stormtrooper disguise. This is the first time we've seen the K2SO Assassin Droid model, and it is looking fabulous. I'm going to do a full review of all of these figures in the coming days, but just first impressions about the box are, what a great card back choice. That when I think of his introduction, it's that image specifically, and he comes with one accessory. He does come with the blaster pistol that Jyn gives him in the end of the film, so important that he comes with that. Oh my goodness, this Power Droid, I couldn't say enough about. I was very, very excited when I saw this. I have been wanting this figure in 3/7 Red, just this figure in general, for the majority of my collecting years. I am beyond excited that it's finally rendered in a new figure. I'm also really happy about the packaging. We haven't seen a purple backed vintage collection figure, I don't think, ever, and it's really nice that one of these old retro styled figures gets the new packaging design. It does have the double piping silver side for the Star Wars logo. It has the original Star Wars trilogy logo on the front and the top. And I'll do a deeper dive into this figure specifically, but his little top comes off. So he's even more realized than previous models have given us. The Clone Commander Wolf. This is particularly great. Those who know me know I'm a crazy fan for the Clone Wars, and we really don't have almost any figures from the Vintage Collection with the Clone Wars label behind it. Now, we had Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka from years on back. Those are through the roof secondary market. So it's great to have a new figure, and a new figure from just a fan favorite figure. I mean, the Wolf is pretty much the embodiment of Dave Filoni in the animated Clone Wars series and Rebels. So it's nice to have a little hat nod, a little homage to him. He won't agree with that, but we all know it. That's his boy right there. And so it's great to have a vintage collection look to it. And the card back, since this figure's only in the animated series, the card back is stylized art, which I know a lot of fans are hit or miss with, but trust me, this one is looking amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. So going back into a little bit more strategy on how to find these figures. So as I mentioned, the toy reps will know where they are. A lot of times, just because we don't see them on the shelves, just because we see empty pegs, doesn't mean they're not in that store. And I know that it doesn't really make sense to collectors. It's if you have them, we'll buy them, put them on the shelves and do it. Again, it's inner politics for each store. It's not that toy rep's fault. But if you're kind of polite and you know what you're looking for, they will more times than not go look in the back for you. And sometimes these treasures are there. When you ask about these vintage collection figures, they have a box of them. So I learned that most Target stores, even the ones that have the most foot traffic for toys, are only getting one box of vintage collection figures per store. And one box contains 8 figures, and those 8 figures are not evenly split. So I was actually there with the toy rep for breaking the tape of the box and having my hands first on these figures, which I'm really grateful for and is really, really cool. But I noticed as going through the boxes that the numbers weren't evenly split, like I just said. So you would think in an eight, so one box of 8 toys with 4 new toys, you would think 2 of each. It's actually not how it goes. So how I observed it, there were 3 Commander Wolves, there were 2 K2SOs, there were 2 K2SOs, 2 Luke Skywalker and Stormtroopers, and only 1 Power Droid. So I don't know if this is uniform throughout everything that's being shipped. I don't know if it differs from each Target. I think if we were to believe that it were different, that's putting a little bit too much. I I think that it takes too much thought to make them different. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be shipped with similar numbers. So again, asking your target rep, trying to get your hands on the ones that are there, being kind, and knowing that they're not evenly split. So I think it's smart that they know that the Commander Wolves are going to go fast, but one power droid to each box. I was doing the math in my head. In the greater metro area where I live, there might be a dozen targets. That might mean that in the whole entire city, there might only be a dozen power droids. So it's going to take some looking, it's going to take some hunting, but that's why we do this. Again, it makes us treasure these figures even more, and totally doable. Totally doable. I don't know if you pre-ordered them. I don't know if you're waiting to get them. If you enjoy getting them off the shelves, these are some great tips so you can go out there and venture out and get your own. The reflection of these new models, the abundance of vintage collection figures, and I know people will complain it's not enough. It isn't. It's not enough yet, but it is more. It is more, and they are different and better figures. Every single one of these figures is amazing. Every single one. And I could say that about the last wave, which was the majority Mandalorian figures. We're getting some great, great models. They're updating some old models that we've been wanting for years and haven't gotten. It's a real exciting time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're going to use these tips to be able to acquire some of these plastic treasures yourself. Be safe out there, be respectful, be kind, wear a mask, and be smart. I've been Mike, and this is Binary Sunset Review with your tips on finding vintage collection figures in these coronavirus times. Have a great day out there. Enjoy yourself.